welcome to the fourth and final video of the evening, third review, as Twilight will be reviewing Airport CEO. So this is a tycoon game or a business management and simulation. Uh, we are presuming that this is being called Airport CEO because Airport Tycoon already exists. In fact, it was a line of tycoon games that existed in the early 2000s, which was kind of the prime period for tycoon games. Just remember a shitload of tycoon games from around that period, and they got into very weird areas. Like there was a line of prison tycoon games, for example. But anyway, be that as it may, you are the CEO of an airport, and well, you do the things that you do to run a successful airport business, as it were. Granted, it's a bit of an unusual. Um, there's a designation between running an airport and an airline. Okay, just to get that out of the way. You're running the actual physical building of an airport, not...
Yeah, the airport has contracts with various airlines to manage their passengers and crews.
Anyway, so Twilight, take us through Airport CEO.
All right, well, yeah, as you would imagine, this being a tycoon game, you'll, of course, starting from the bottom going up, with your little airport that you start off with, you'll, of course, be doing the usual things of laying out your airport, how you wish to design it, well, experimenting and so on and so forth with layouts to suit how you want to be all set up and what you feel comfortable with. And this game is very impressive with how in depth it is, to be honest. I've played a few tycoon games, but this one feels more in depth than most of what I've played. And I think I only really scratched the surface of it during my time with it. You of course be see how do we explain this here. You'll be choosing and picking between various companies and with varying prices of the types of like the contractors that you'll be using to build everything your airport, building the facilities and the runways and such. And I really haven't noticed the actual differences besides maybe at random the number of workers you can hire at once. But that doesn't really seem to have had any noticeable difference in the quality of the facilities and in everything else. Of course, you will be maintaining these facilities, but that's but yeah, nothing really seems to change depending on who you choose. It's just a matter of course, the price of hiring these people and how long you want to hire them for as you manage your finances. Of course, how the maintaining will, of course, works besides the amount of time that passes which of course you can control at will. With the usual pause and play um, and speed up option. You'll be not a difficult thing to do, honestly, but you do have to worry about wild animals trespassing into your airport and damaging your stuff. These can range from cows to foxes. I think deer as well. I really didn't see a whole lot in terms of animals they had to deal with. It seemed like most of the time when you have a fence that you put up and around your airport, you can of course um, set up however you wish. And didn't have much trouble with them. They seem like you only really have to worry about them when you don't have anything protected. Otherwise, seem like they just come and charge them for whatever whatever set. If I speak correctly, whatever a new facility you set up. Of course, I learned my lesson is surround the entire perimeter, and yeah, it wasn't much of a problem afterwards. Um, um, you'll have you'll be uh, micromanaging your airport for some time as you're playing through the game. Of course, one of the impressive one of the things I say is surprisingly in depth about it is that you will be eventually as your airport expands, be hiring more staff members to handle the various responsibilities. You'll be having um, people ranging from let's see now. Let me check right quick here. You'll be eventually getting the strategy directors, procurement. No. Anyway, various staff members to eventually hire on to deal with the various things. um, um, I really hadn't gone that far, but over time you will be unlocking more and more sections of the of the land that you'll be operating on. I haven't mentioned before, but something I found very impressive, even before you start your game, is the locations you can pick to have your airport at. Pretty well anywhere in the world, but that cosmetically doesn't really seem to affect the land very much.
Here we are in my own airplane that I made myself in the great grassy fields of the Australian outback, not deserts.
Yeah. Yeah, mainly I didn't test that out very much, but I did, of course, start off in Lexington, Kentucky, but then eventually I just moved to Huntington in West Virginia and just stayed there with for the rest of my playtime with this game. I didn't. I don't imagine it's gonna be much different going into anywhere like South America or Europe or Australia. It could be pretty well anywhere in the world. Well, any major city in the world, at least, they can pick. But yeah, yeah, like I was saying, this game is quite in depth. You'll be eventually like setting up fueling stations for your airplanes and unlocking new tools to work with. You set up um, um, souvenir shops and such. I really haven't done a whole lot of that myself. Mostly experimenting with the layouts and slowly working my way to figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And whether seems like it's mostly a visual effect, though you, um, there does seem to be some things to be worried about. I see where like de-icing is something you have to be concerned with at some points. But yeah, I'm afraid I can't really speak any much more about that. So, but overall, yeah, it's pretty much besides the amount of depth this game has, it's pretty much like any other tycoon game. You're going to be doing everything you can to improve your business and build your way up to becoming a successful um, business CEO. Um, and mainly this, personally, I was not the best at these sort of games, but it's been a matter of luck. Um, but some criticisms I do have for the game that they is well, first of all, the tutorial. I found that when I was first starting out and learning the ropes with this game, the tutorial kind of messed me up at one point with the rate it seems to want to move at. And most of the times, the tutorial doesn't progress unless you, like, say, place down these 5 stations here, and once you do that,
Tycoon games often have very specific tutorial requirements.
Yeah. I was going off of my experience with that. Of course, this is indie, so I don't want to be too harsh. But there was one point where I was placing down the let's see what they're called here, right quick. Can't remember what the top of my head. The taxiway path, where your planes will be riding on to control where they're going. Yeah, I didn't notice it at first, but as I was placing those down, the tutorial went ahead and jumped ahead without me laying out all the pathways I need to at that point, and I didn't quite get everything set up at first there. I thought I did. And I eventually got to where I had to wait for the planes to arrive so they can go to their stations. And once all 5 of them appeared, I could move on. I waited and waited, having opened the airport and everything, and they never did arrive. I had eventually discovered that I hadn't quite connected the ramps, the exit and enter ramps for the planes to the track that the planes will be departing from and entering on. And yeah, I thought the game had bugged out on me or something like that. I eventually discovered what had happened and was able to move on eventually. Um, so yeah, I would say it'd be best to maybe for the developer to make sure that not to let the tutorial jump ahead of the player like that. I realize to some degree I'm sort of at fault there for not being thorough enough with making sure everything was connected, but um, I was under the assumption that the game had bugged on me there. Um, but this, I hadn't gone through all the tutorials, so I'm not sure just how likely there would be any more instances in there might be of that later on. Yeah, this game goes. You'll be going through a whole lot before you finish the tutorial phase of the game. There's some water right there. So I had another. I had another issue, but yeah, quite can't quite remember what it was. Yeah, I thought I did, but maybe I didn't actually. Oh yeah. This is not really an issue, but it was something that I had noticed as how wonky some of the workers' pathing was at times. How prone they were to. It was something. It was somewhat amusing, but it wasn't a big deal. But I did notice some of the workers and as well as some um, passengers were prone to some rather odd pathing, but it didn't quite break everything, but still something might need some working on. You know, you want everybody to get to where they need to go eventually, and well, to ensure that you can keep things moving along without too much time passing by and losing money. uh, so yeah, it's like any other tycoon game. If you're familiar with this sort of thing, just I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I wish I could have gotten more time with it. I was having some fun with as far as I've gotten with it. Just be ready for the long haul with dedication to this game, as you'll be getting quite a bit out of it gameplay wise. Um, so yeah, in terms of the visuals, it's of course it's all 2D stuff. Nice um, amount of effort with all the props or facilities, whatever you want to call them, and the aircrafts themselves and such, as well as I'm not sure um, if the map of the Earth at the start of the game was made by the developer or not. But so I can't really say anything on that really. But yeah, the visual style. I mean, it's a most tycoon games don't have a lot in the way of 3D effects and whatnot. So if you play some older games, you'll know what to expect visual wise. Um, I mean, graphics are a matter of preference and such anyway. Um, I kind of wish to comment on the your character that you can customize at the beginning of the game. It's not bad. The art isn't, but I say it's all right. The design for your character as well as your staff members that you hire later on. The art there is okay. Yeah, not gonna say much else by that. Besides that, I did like the visual effects for the title screen though, with when the game first loads up and how everything just changes to turn into all the menus on the that you can select from. That was a nice touch. So yeah, that's it for the visuals. Now the music was actually quite nice. Yeah, the game soundtrack. Uh, didn't really hear a whole lot of it though. It's most prominent at the during the title and at the title screen and as you're selecting where your location and designing your character. Or some music while I was playing the game, but seemed like it was often just abruptly quit. I'm not sure if that was intentional or bug. Um, Kind of a shame though. I actually like it. It's of course the kind of music that doesn't distract you. It just kind of blends into the background there. It's a nice mellow tone to it. Most of it is. The title screen music was the most energetic example, though. The rest of it seemed to be mostly just it's very calm, really nice sounding um, music to it. Not enough to put you to sleep, but keeps you in a nice, calm state of mind as you're working on everything. Um, Not really much else in terms of audio I can think of. I mean, there is some sound effects from the characters on the the construction workers, staff members, and passengers that you'll hear as you zoom in on them. They get louder and the closer you get to them. And besides that, yeah, there's not really much else I can say in terms of the audio. So I guess that's well before I move on, is there any questions?
No.
Yeah. All right then.
I think I'm good.
All right. So Airport CEO is $24.99, $25. The game alone, I can. Yes, I can definitely recommend it at that price. As I was saying, yeah, to like a lot of other tycoon games, if with a lot more depth to it, we definitely get a lot more out of it than I say most other tycoon games. I'm just going off of my own experiences. I haven't played a whole lot of them, like I already said. But yeah, I do say the $25 is a silver price for it, for the amount of effort put into it. The As far as the game still getting updated and Yeah. Anyway, there is another option here for the business class bundle with the main game and the soundtrack. I already said the soundtrack is actually quite wonderful, and well, music is another subjective taste, and well, if you're somebody who likes getting soundtracks with games, I can definitely recommend it then. Otherwise, you do have the soundtrack as a standalone um, choice for $2.99, $3, and I can say I can recommend it at that price. There's the free DLC here for the Supersonic. It's an aircraft that you can get in the game. It's free, so that's up to the player to choose if they want that or not. So yeah, it's a airport tycoon game with a surprising amount of depth to it. I know I didn't go into a lot on it, but that's because I haven't been able to experience quite everything. But what I have experienced, I can definitely recommend this game. And then if I had more time, I probably would put more time into it. A lot of games though, so hard to say honestly. But I did enjoy my time with it. I did have. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, then. So that'll about do it for this session of the Fragments Silicon reviews. The week ahead. So coming up on Wednesday, April 14th, we will be having Tom Wiggins of Pulseball the Game. One of these devs who's a solo dev and doesn't have a separate company, so we list them by the game. Pulseball is a free-to-play hybrid of FPS and sports ball. Yeah, so you run around.
Any sports ball is an FPS if you try hard enough.
Well, yeah. You run around in the first person and you shoot the ball with your pulse gun to move it, and you score goals. So I'm actually being literal here. And in the terms of sports ball, because this is a sport that doesn't actually exist. So, though apparently it has realistic physics, though I wonder. I suppose I should ask the dev what realistic physics are in this context. Again,
the balls bounce right.
Once again, this is a fictional thing that doesn't really exist, so that could be just about anything, honestly. I mean, that's the kind of thing you can get away with when, pulse ball doesn't exist. And yeah, also this is a free-to-play title, so Petty, be sure to download this between now and Wednesday. Anyway, not really seeing much for multiplayer, honestly. It's got online and LAN PvP, so we'll see if, how well the online works in the interim as well. No Friday show this week. Oh, no, sorry. I was looking at a different week there. No, we do have a Friday show this week. On Friday, April 16th, we will be having, oh boy, I'm going to give my best stab at this name because it's Polish. Maciej Mesiak. I probably butchered that beyond recognition, of movie games. Yeah, looking forward to that. And hopefully we can get a proper pronunciation of his name, because like Polish names I find especially thorny. So many consonants. Anyway, so that's the week ahead. And until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.